Hey, hello guys, I am Miyai. Welcome. In this video we're gonna review the Gigantus from Razer. The Gigantus V2, I almost wanted to say mini, but it is a smaller version than the original V1 because the thickness is reduced. In this box we will show you the thickness of the V1 was 5 mm, stitched edges, a logo that was very hindering your movement, and a very controlled surface, aka swampy surface. It feels like swampy, especially in the summer. They changed a lot in the Gigantus V2, and that's what we're gonna see right now, because the size is reduced. This was a square, and the size is reduced, and it's gonna be 3 mm thickness with the large edition. If you have an XXL or an XXXXL pad, you get in 4 mm, but this one is 3 mm. Let's open the box. And you get a very nice pull, and you see immediately the surface. Oh my god, I'm very excited because I like the Gigantus V1 and I hope I will like the Gigantus V2. Every product I use, or whoa, it's used already again, it's from Amazon, and Amazon you mostly get a used product, sadly. As you can see, it has some markers on it. So it's not completely flat out of the box when I pulled it out. And how is the surface? If I do pressure on the mousepad just moves very easy. So yeah, I don't think the bottom part, this is my first impression actually, I don't think the bottom part is very good. With this surface you have minimal amount of moving your mousepad, but this one is just moving. Hey, we can dance! Let's dance! Okay, there's a minus for me, guys. No stitched edges. Some people like stitched edges, some people dislike it. I'm a fan of it. So for me it's a sad part. It don't have any stitched edges, because I have a lot of mousepads in the past that were just damaged by moving with your hand and rubbing on the table. So that's gonna happen on this mouse surface as well, I believe. Minimal branding, that's what I like, because on the V1 it has a very big Razer logo, and the big Razer logo was sticking out of the surface and you could not even move there with your mouse. This one is just minimal brand logo, and you can easily pull it off if you want that. I don't really care if it's in a corner, in the top right corner, so I just stay with it, but it's very nice to have. How's the surface? Yeah, and that's a good thing. We're gonna dive in now a little bit deeper to see with a closer shot how the surface will perform. So let's go, guys. So we are back. And what's the size, Miyai? That's a good question, because from left to right the width is 450 mm. From bottom to top it's 400 mm with a thickness of 3 mm. It's reduced. The V1 from Gigantus was 5 mm thickness by 455 by 455. So they reduced the size a little bit. It's not a problem. As you can see, we do not have stitched edges. So one tip for me is overlap it a little bit by on your table. So you're not rubbing the side, but you just protect it, and you will not have damaged surface over time, or less damage at least. As you can see, the mousepad moves very easy. So that means the bottom part of the surface isn't that great. This same material you have on the Razer Gigantus V1, but possibly because it was thicker, this is 3 mm thickness and that's a 5 mm thickness, so it has more weight, and the weight will secure the product more on place. And with this lighter product, it will just move with an ease. And this is a really big downside for me. How is the surface woven? Something like this. It seems very dirty, but this is the first impression. It just came out of the box of Amazon. Not my fault though. But yeah, guys. So let's do a little test with a mouse. So I have the Razer Depth Adder Elite on the table. On the right side we see the Gigantus V2 and on the left side you see my dirty Gigantus V1. I cleaned it multiple times in the shower, but it's hard to clean after a while. But my camera is more picky, so it's less dirty than you guys see. Sorry for that. But yeah, okay, the test. We have the Razer Depth Adder Elite, an older model, not the V2, and it glides like this on the V2, Gigantus V2 mouse surface. And on the Gigantus V1 is way more friction and more swampy feeling, as they say on some mouse spreadsheets from Hoya. It's a Google document and you can see which speed which mousepad has. So it's a great tip for me. If you want it, I can post it in my description. Yeah, definitely the Gigantus V1 has more control than the Gigantus V2. So guys, the end conclusion. Is this product worth to buy? I need to take a lot of air into my lungs because, let's start off, what do I like from this surface? Yeah, the speed wise, it's a little bit more faster than the Gigantus V1. In my opinion, that's a good one. That's a very good one. What I dislike is the thickness. I wish to just stick with 5 mm thickness. More padding, more cushioning in your arms, more comfort. Yeah, it should be better in my opinion. I like that more, but that's just my opinion. Stitch edges, yes, some people dislike it, some people prefer it. I know they tried to copy this product a little bit by the BenQ GSR SE. It also has no stitch edges and they raised the price by that. But I did get this product for around €12. Quite cheap on Amazon.de, the German store. But yeah, I wish it had stitch edges, just more durability, and that's little discomfort some people talk about by stitch edges. It's not for me a problem. The minimal logo on the top right, I really like that because the previous model, the Gigantus V1, had a very annoying logo with raised logo. You cannot even move there your mouse, and you can even pull this logo off if you really dislike that. But then you just have a very cheap mousepad, in my opinion. Is it worth? The surface is faster. As you can see, it moves so much. I don't know if I'm gaming like this, intensive gaming, oh, my mousepad falls. For example, let me game. Okay, I always pull it a little bit over the table. Let me game. I'm swiping with 400 dpi. I think with very low DPI this surface isn't great. Of course the surface is great, but the underneath the rubber is just awful. Maybe because it is less weight, as I told you at the beginning, that's why it's moving more. That's why it's also another one, just stick with your 5 mm Razer. More comfort and so on. But overall I'm happy. It's a cheap price, it's a new Razer. Minimal logo, great surface. The surfaces I really like. This is really what I like. The smoothness of the surface is just fine. Not something really special. It's not like it is aimed for precision. One of the best precisions you will get from your mousepad is just a surface, and it performed very well. Yeah, there's not much I can talk about. If you can get this product for a cheap price, for around €15, it's definitely worth it, but don't pay like €30 for this service. Maybe if you have an XXXXXXL, so where you can put your keyboard as well on it, maybe then it's worth it, because it also has more thickness. The bigger models from Gigantus V2 has more thickness, 4 mm, and this 3 mm. So overall, if this wasn't Razer, but just, for example, Charcone brand, I would say the exact same. It's not something really unique. Only the service I really like. This is just an amazing service. The top service. The underneath layer is awful. And the stitch edges and the cushioning should be bigger. So yeah, I'm not completely sure about this mousepad, guys. It's not my favorite mousepad in my collection, and I do own a lot of mousepads, but up to you if you want to buy it. I say it's not bad. It has some improvements. It has some improvement, and it can be improved for the version 3, in my opinion, quite a lot. So yeah, guys, this was my review. I hope you liked it. Maybe like, subscribe, and join the Discord. I don't know if you want to do that. And otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. And have a nice day, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.